Hello fellow RC enthusiasts. We're coming at you from the RC workshop here. We've made some changes to the RC workshop, done some upgrades, more low budget upgrades, but maybe make it a little bit better for us nonetheless. And one of the improvements we did was myself, I never have a clean bench. The only reason this one is clean is because this is a new setup here with some rearranging. But you might be like the rest of us, and there's tools and everything that you have to clear off to set your setup board on there. And so I decided to make a shelf that drops down from the wall. So anyways, this is what I come up with. Built out of some leftovers here. I'm going to turn this deal here, the latch from the wall, bring the leg down and drop it down. It gives me a nice sturdy deal there. Put the level on there, get it kind of closed. It doesn't have to be perfect at this point. I do have leveling feet on the setup board, so we can dial it all the way in from that point. Then we can put our setup board up on there. For those of you that are new to the channel or just turning in for the first time, this is the setup board that I made for the Worlds that as of today even Lance over at Crucial RC was talking about that inspired him to make one. These setup boards are big enough for the fifth scales that they're extremely expensive to ship. There's only a few people that make them. So a lot of times you're bringing them over from Europe and it's just not feasible to ship something this big. I checked with a couple people that make 10th scale and 8th scale setup boards to make one for me, and they just weren't interested, didn't have time or something. So I decided to make one myself. And I constructed this one out of 1/2 inch cabinet wood, routed out a little handle area. I knew the cabinet wood wouldn't hold up that great to the car on it, so I put a piece of 1/4 inch Lexan. I screwed it in, got nut plates on the inside. I routed out a groove for the center finding ruler there. It's just a little helper. It's not for the gospel. Put this together. It still wasn't as flat as I really wanted it. Plus I needed a way to reasonably put leveling feet on it. So I came in and I built an aluminum frame for the bottom of it. I think it's 3/4 by 1.5 inch rectangular tubing. I pulled it together, welded it, put some biscuits in the lathe and threaded them for the leveling feet. Put more inserts in it for this to bolt in so that I can remove this frame, and I can shim it as needed to just make it really nice and flat. So anyways, it's a little heavy, but the 5th scale cars are heavy, so you need something substantial. But the aluminum keeps it pretty light, not terrible heavy. Anyways, there it is, nice and flat. I'll give a shout out here. We got Cardinal Racing on here. We got our man Crucial RC. We got 316 RC down here. If you're watching this, Alan, or if you do watch this, I sure would like to have had a bigger one to fly your colors with. Anyways, we got the local hobby shop Big Mike's there. We got Mark Santa Maria's up here, Detroit Performance, FG Supply, Crawler Innovations out of the East Texas area. You might check them out. They do some nice foam tires for crawlers. And anyways, if anybody wants to send me a sticker to add to the shout outs here, that would be nice. Drop me a line in the comments, and but anyways, you can set that up there. Now we have us a nice surface We move the leveling feet and get it just right on dead level, and we can use that to set up the Duox on there. We can use it to set up the MCDs. We can even use it to set up the Losi 5Ts and the 5Bs. This thing is big enough that it will do whatever. With the touring car set up, we have the same Entergy setup station that Crucial RC has. Anyways, let's set the car up there, I also found out that if anybody's running these touring cars, that the Protec camber gauge is tall enough that even though it's more of a smaller scale car tool, it fits the touring car wheels nicely, and so doesn't the ride height gauge. So those might be two tools that you're lacking or need to with the touring cars. I am going to be working on making an adapter to be able to run the Entergy setup stand on the four-sided touring car style wheel hubs to make a little bit better fit there. But anyways, that's how we're going to do our setup board, where we can keep this area clean and just for setup. Yet we still have a little bit of gap here. We could still have some tools and some miscellaneous parts and stuff on our workbench and not have to worry about getting the whole thing 100% clean before we set the setup board on there. Anyways, I just thought y'all might want to check that out, see that, maybe give yourself your own ideas. Unfortunately, I'm not interested in making any setup boards. They take too long, and again, shipping cost would be too great. Now, if you happen to be going to a race, same race I'm going to, you would be wanting to pay a deposit up front to have me build it and hold it until that race, you might get a hold of me and maybe we can work something out there. The materials it takes to build this is not cheap also. It is expensive. This is not something that is I understand that it's a hand-built piece out of some quality materials that do cost a lot of money nowadays. The Lexan has went way up in price, and so has the aluminum. And leveling feet are pretty cheap. The aluminum tubing is not. The wood's not terribly expensive, but the other components put it well north of probably $200 just in parts and materials to make it. So anyways, therefore I probably won't be making any for other people, but if you're interested in one, and I might work with you a little bit on getting one to a local track. It looks like we're going to try to be running some more over at RCRC NT next spring. So I might be making some trips to the DFW area for that race. Guys, the Worlds was a great experience. The car did very well. See if I can zoom in on the body there at the top. We'll probably be better off just to grab it and put it on the setup pad. You can see it a little better. This is the body we ran on the Duox. Shout out to Bob Reynolds, the RC Dungeon. Make sure we flew his colors during the race, and yeah, it was just a fun event to go to. We did pretty well in qualifying. We qualified with a couple first place. The car ran really good, and that was with pretty much a stock motor with a ignition upgrade on it. Losing a day and a half getting there with some of the problems I had getting there. I actually literally broke down in my RV, and Texas 5 owner Juan Blaylock, he come by and picked me up. Give him a shout out. Picked me up and took me on into the race, and it was a good week. Met a lot of neat people, made some new friends, and I met a lot of the people that are from around the world that are into this small sport we call fun. And man, it was just a really good time. Really good time. I highly recommend you supporting your local track. I highly recommend that whenever there's an event out where you got 5 or more of you large scale people getting together, get in your car, put the gas in the tank, get out there, have some fun. Don't make excuses, because those times you just don't get them back, and the money you spend and the gas you spend to meet those new friends and have a lot of fun and fellowship in the hobby is just a really good time. Anyways, man, I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate it if you subscribe. I do more watching YouTube than I do doing YouTube videos, so bear with me. I'm still learning on the editing, but I'll do my best, and we'll try to get them a little bit improved and try to get a few more of them out there. I've got some thoughts on some tool videos showing some of the tools that I use. I thought about this video. I didn't see any out there. Now there is already a couple more out there, but I have a different tool set than what some of the others do, so I think there's enough room for me to show mine and give you all maybe some more ideas on that aspect too. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching. Have a good day.